If you would have asked me 3 years ago if I gave a hoot about finding a shed, the answer would have been no. Growing up, we didn't find many, but the last couple years I've found it a great excuse to get out of the house, into the woods, and find some bucks that might be worth chasing next season. And it only makes it sweeter when you find a nice one on public land.
Get inside.
All right, good morning, guys. It is March 2nd. I'm sitting here at my house in Texas, and me and a buddy, Landon, Huey of Social Distancing Outdoors, are going to do some shed hunting on public land today. Me and Lauren went out about a week ago and found 2. So hopefully quite a few of them dropped and we can find some sheds today, but that's what we're up to. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys out there.
Yo, you can throw that stuff in the back seat if you want.
Okay, cool.
Bag. I got her all cleared out. Well, we're on the board. I wonder what that was. At one point, that was a nice buck. That was probably a good one. At one point, he just all chewed up. Squirrels got him. It looks like last year. As we got into this bedding area and I bumped some deer, I had a feeling, so I'm gonna try to find the match. Let's go.
Most folks would tell you if you get a shed per mile, you're doing pretty good. After 5 miles of walking and 1 shed found, Lan and I decided to call it quits, but I was right back at it the next weekend.
What's up, guys? It is March 7th. Went shed hunting last weekend on this piece of public here in Texas, and I'm gonna head back. So I'm gonna check out a new area of the property today and hopefully find some more sheds. So I just got done working out and I smell like 2 onions making love. So instead of wasting time and taking a shower, I'm gonna put on some of the core body foam from Shield Hunt, wipe off my pits, put it on, and get going. That way I don't have to take a shower and slow myself down. I want to get as much shed hunting in as I can. So that's what we're up to today. We're gonna head out, try to find some sheds.
All right, so it's nice and chilly here in Texas today, and I got me a shed, just a doe shed. I'm kind of wondering what this deer will be like next year. Could be a good one. Yeah, those are definitely all me.
Although I was looking for sheds in this hunt, I ran into more people sign than I did deer sign right out of the gate. Whether that was a pair of sunglasses, a trail camera, or a feeder. Some of you guys just got confused. Yes, you can bait on this piece of public land if you're lucky enough to draw the hunt or you want to hunt hogs.
Right. All right, hey, you're about to make the YouTube video. Check this out. All right, just found a sweet shed. I got paid on the phone. I'm gonna send him a Snapchat and see him, show him what he's missing. I just found a nice shed. This is hilarious. I'm in this extremely thick briar thicket, and I love to shed hunt these spots just because there's a lot of low-hanging branches for the sheds to knock off. And I'm in this briar thicket, and I just jumped a huge group of pigs. There's a guy walking back behind me with his crossbow and an orange hat, and he's hunting pigs. And I look back just to like see an exit route so I don't run into these pigs, and there's a freaking big old shed looking back there. Check this out. That's a freshie too. Look at that. Look at that wax ring. That is a fresh one too. Heck yeah. This literally could be one of the bucks that I saw today running around. There's a bunch of white horn antlered bucks, so having a pretty good day out here. Hey, I know I complain all the time about public land in Texas, but if you're willing to drive and try, there's opportunity out there. I just found all the pigs. I dropped a pot of 20 of them in this briar thicket, and it just scared the frick out of me. But I found a fresh shed, so I'm still gonna keep looking in here.
So after 2 successful weekends of shed hunting Texas, it was finally mid-March, and Jake and I were headed on our North Texas podcast tour, where we met with Charles Beatty, Chad Allen Jones, Jake Schumann, Micah Cano, and we shot 3 awesome podcasts in 2 days that are going to be coming out soon. As Jake and I are doing the podcast tour, we realize we have an extra day here. Let's head up to Oklahoma and do some shed hunting on public land there. And that's exactly what we did.
All right, it is 5:27. We've been here about 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. Apparently Christian locked himself in his camper, so I gotta go let him out. So I'm gonna put on my socks and shoes and get out in this rain and let him out, I guess, but it's funny. All right, so we got a few hours to kill before the next podcast. This is what I find right here.
Hey. What's up?
I mean, maybe some sheets. I mean,
Buddy, we're all about relating to the common folk. This is how the common folk do it.
in a Texas Roadhouse parking lot, huh?
This is when you need a nap, you need a nap.
Yeah, well,
Here I am.
we'll give him a little tour of yours. Go ahead and give him a house tour real quick, and then I'll give him a tour of mine.
Okay, sleeping bag, negative 20 degrees, amazing. 4-inch memory foam. I'm sleeping on part of a ghillie suit for a pillow. And then I've got a bag of deer corn and some boots. So, you know, I keep it simple, stupid. It's comfortable. It's cozy.
All right.
All right, see you later.
All right. This is my sleeping situation.
You didn't have to flex on us, it goes up like that.
Obviously, it's unmade, but pillow. Bag goes under my pillow. These poles go up front, and I kind of catty corner it. I can finally stretch out. It's pretty nice. Got us some coffee, and waiting on Christian to get dressed and on a roll.
Okay, so we're out here on the public, and this is probably one of the prettiest places I've seen on the entire place. Really deep creek that cuts down on both sides, and just a sea of oaks on this shelf right here. The one thing that I've found that I like that is different from everything else is there's a big sea of grasses over there with good briars, really immature pines, and like looks to be really good cover and bedding. And I don't think it's a coincidence that most of the sign was over that way. But on the flip side of that, this entire creek is a travel corridor. So there's basically 2 approaches. Sit near the food or the bedding, where I liked over there, or just sit on one of these travel corridors. And what we found in the mountains, well, with a lot of people that we hunt, is both can work. So that's what I like. Other people might like just a big natural travel corridor for a mile long, but there's some deer in here. I don't think you can differentiate this 100-yard section of pines and oaks from that 100-yard section over there or the next one, especially when you have a spot that's 900 yards long with pines and oaks. And it could happen. You see it happen all the time. But there could be a buck stand up out of that little drainage and walk right by you. But I feel like at that point you're back into the hoping game.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I hope he's bedded right there. And you know the nomadicness of these bucks. They don't bed in the same spot. He could be bedded there one hunt.
That's
the
true.
next time you come back, he could be bedded there on your access. And you don't have great access into here because you really don't know. There's no defined bedding. The bedding is everywhere. So that's why I like the spot with the better thermal cover and the topography, the up and down, and the grasses over there versus this. So
You can call it the lazy man approach, but what I want to try to figure it out next year, because just like Christian said, I mean, you walk this creek and it seems like that's kind of the only you know, big terrain feature that shows a little bit of diversity within, like he said, the sea of pines and oaks. And you have your security cover right there where it's super thick, and obviously you want to try to definitely key in on that. But you know, usually, at least most of the time here, if you see him once, you're not going to see him again.
It's a one-time deal.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, and I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself, is, you know, just straight up the bump and dump strategy, like we talked about on the previous podcast and stuff. I don't want to hope, and so there's been too many times, me personally, and then hearing stories of other people we have on our podcast, where you go and you bump a deer, and especially if it's during the rut, you know, most of the time that buck isn't paying attention to you. You spook the doe. And so if he's on the doe, that doe wants to be there for good reasons, whether that's to get away from other bucks or that's just where she feels safe. And so as long as she's still in estrus for that day or two, then, I mean, more than likely the chances are they're going to come back. So that's just what I'm going to do.
This is a good example too of like seeing sign. Like we're looking here, there's a rub 30 yards up there, and it's a good rub too. And you could see that walking through in October. Your bag's 35 pounds and you're like, this will do. And you sit here, and then one unmotivated sit, you see not a damn thing, maybe a turkey or coyote, and you don't want to come back. That's why it definitely could happen in something like this, but it's just, there's nothing different about it. It's
you gotta get lucky,
monoculture.
you know?
Yeah. And it is a good travel corridor, so it could definitely happen. But that's why I like even the spot where we were hunting for Big John, was because it gets back into those big native grass fields where you have way better cover. And here there's cover, like, ain't nothing sneaking up on you from this side, because you got the creek and you could sit up on one of these edges and perch and then scent check behind you, but there's no thickness to it. There's no security to it. You'd have to be switched on the entire time. So I don't know, it's a great spot to look for a shed. It's just not a spot that I would want to, I say that as I hunted in here last year. It's not a spot I would go back to, but it's pretty. You got to find out, but pretty doesn't kill a deer.
Don't walk. Oh, don't go up on it. Hold on.
That's a good one, dude.
Hold on. Let me get this right.
That's a good one, dude. It's broke.
It's an oldie, isn't it?
It's broke, yeah.
Ooh.
Or it was a good one.
Hallelujah.
We didn't get skunked.
Oldie but goodie, huh?
That's cool.
What did I literally was saying, this is the kind of spot you can find a shed. That one stuck out sore, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not saying that one from 20 yards. There's a fence right there.
Hold that sucker up. Let's take a look at her.
Imagine if it wasn't broke, though. That'd be a pretty good shed.
I bet he's good now, because that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, probably like a 120s 10.
Yeah, well, ain't big enough.
Yeah, throw that back. I'm not even excited. Well, we need to spend a second right here.
Yeah.
That's
what
awesome.
is that? 2?
We got about one shed for 3 miles.
Yep. That's good. That's
Cool.
good.
There we go on the board. Hold on.
There's the jawbone right there. See, this is what really gets me going.
Drop that other shed.
Deadheads. What do you mean? That's cool. How long do you think he's been there? 3?
Oh, wow.
That's cool. I knew it. As soon as I'm telling you, dude, vertebrae. As soon as you find vertebrae,
You find deer.
you look.
Hold that sucker
There's a
up.
jawbone. Hold on, I'm gonna go. Let's go look at this jawbone real quick. Well, we got both of them. You're gonna have to judge those. I don't really know.
Let's see him.
Here's probably the best one. 2.
That's an old deer.
So how can you tell?
It's the 4th one, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see
Hold on, slow down. Go for it.
you can see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That 4th. So usually, you see how, well, this deer's kind of worn down, but you see right here how you have this like crowning right here, this still sharpness right here. So if he was less than probably 5 years old, you'd see some of this crowning on this 4th tooth. When they start to wear flat, that's like usually 4.5, 5 plus.
But if it's still sharp like that,
That's less than 5 or 4. Yeah, it's usually probably around 4. So my Texas buck was aged at 5, and he still had some of the sharpness. So you
Really?
can see the wear, and it's different on each different environment, right? So
what would you put that one at?
this is probably at least 5.
You think so?
Yeah, that wouldn't be out of line for that buck. I mean,
He does set up tall.
that's what, a 120s.
I mean, he really sets up right there, and then he goes up.
He's got good time.
That's a high and tight buck.
Yeah, he's 120s probably.
Was that a shooter for you in the mountains?
Yeah, I would. I mean, but see, this is what I'm trying to get at right here. Like, what do you think this thing scores? Like mid
120s probably.
And I see that. Would I shoot it? Yes. Next year, if I see something like this, especially if I have 2 tags, am I shooting this? Yes. But that's kind of why I want that lease. Is so if I see something like this, because we know there's bigger deer around here.
Yeah, it's a nice buck.
And this is a nice buck, but it's just like, am I going to pay?
That's your average mountain buck.
Yeah. But am I going to pay $750 to mount this?
No.
It's like no, and that's what I want. Like, granted, I would be happy, thankful to take a deer like this, but I want to be able to pass deer like this because next year this dude's going to be a tank.
Yeah, he will. I mean, look at his age. He's still that deer will be a good one next year.
So, yeah, that's what I mean by.
I get it. That's a nice buck.
I ain't gonna keep these.
If he caught me on the wrong day, he caught me on the right day.
Yeah. It'd be hard to. It'd be a hard pass. That's for sure. That's cool though. We're on the board.
Dude, that's a freshie.
Hell yeah. That's
You
all
like
I
that
find.
one?
Dude, if they ain't bleach white, I ain't finding them. That's my problem.
Well, if they ain't anything, I ain't finding them. I ain't finding nothing.
That's why you're the cameraman.
Shut up.
Don't be recording my spot.
I am. All right, last spot of the day, and then time to pack it up. We've put, I think, close to 9 miles on the boots today, and Jake's at 3 sheds. I guess 2 sheds and a deadhead. I guess I'm of the geese because I'm pulled a big fat goose egg so far. So maybe we can pull one out of this last spot, but fixing to wrap up, fingers crossed. All right, let's do a 90-second score of about a 5-year-old deadhead. Jake's guess, what do you got?
I got like 122.
All right, for the sake of being different, I shot one similar to this we just found, so I'm gonna say 123. Let's give it a try. He does have some.
The thing about it is though, his beams just go up and then they still go out. So that's the only reason I'm saying he ain't like a 120.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really rough score, but we're gonna get it close. Damn.
You see, that's what I mean.
Damn.
The beams are sneaky. That's what is that? 20 and a half?
20.5 is what I put on that. We'll just score it side by
The
side.
beams are sneaky.
About 8.
$118, huh?
It's not a bad one. Right there, he's right there. I'll just say I was off because he's missing part of this. Matt, no. He's probably around 120.
Yeah.
The mountains aren't exactly the best place to find sheds, but sometimes you stumble upon one and step on it and find one. But if you guys like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe because we got a lot more stuff coming on. We got several good...
Hit that like button!
And hit that sub button. We got several more good videos heading your way. We just shot 3 awesome podcasts in North Texas and tax coming up, so we got a lot of cool content coming your way. So make sure to subscribe, and with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.